Host Govlove for Aria of Orisinity Limited, and I just wanted to do a blog about sadhus from India. Now, to an untrained eye or a closed mind in the West, they will see a sadhu, someone who's got naked body, maybe skulls around their neck, covered from head to toe in ash from the cremation grounds, with long matted dreadlock hair, and they'll be like, Satan worship. He's got a trident, he's got Satan, classic traits of Satan, and that's just all the Abrahamic religions ever say about people who are from non-Abrahamic religions. But because I guess it's to do with what is considered an angel in the Western world, in the Abrahamic West, in Europe and in America, is an angel is someone that they depict or perceive to have white robes, in a lot of cases white skin, groomed hair and wings and a halo, and ooh, that's the depiction of what people perceive angels to be in the West. But you need to just analyze the behavior, and hopefully at the end of it you'll understand what I personally consider people who may have skulls around their necks, ash on their naked bodies and matted dreadlocks, smoking that ganja herb, that ole ganja weed star. Those sadhu rastas are angels to me. Hopefully you can understand why. Now let's talk about business. In India, there's fucking greedy fucking haramjade, fucking greedy son of the bitches, and ruthless businessmen. Well, they call themselves businessmen, I call them violent beggars. But what they do is, there's an interpretation of what is the hierarchical system in India, similar to the class system in Europe or the tribal system in Africa, where people feel that based on their birth, what they've been born into, that is their caste and their position in society or their high status in society. And this is based on the Purusha. Now Purusha is another name, one of the many names of the Almighty. But in the scriptures it describes that Purusha had a head where the priests were created from the Brahmins, the arms of Purusha, the cosmic man, Purusha were the Kshatriyas, the warriors, and the legs were the Vaisyas, the administrators, and the feet were the Shudra of the Purusha cosmic man, the labourers, the manual labourers, the feet. And the Dalits, there was no body part for the Dalits, so they're the untouchables and they have no place in society. They're the ungodliness, they're just the downtrodden, and there's no representation for those who not even have a body part. So that's what it's based on. And you have those in India. Well, evolution, scientific rational thought clearly proves that is a man-made theory of a hierarchy of what a human being who evolved from a primate wrote down a script of how they believed the human race came to be and assigned body parts to certain classes, and that's clearly a parable, a fictitious perception of how the human race came to be, because Darwinian evolution proves all humans evolved from a primate of some sort, and not just chimpanzees or gorillas in Africa, but the orangutans in Asia, the macaque monkeys in Asia, the spider monkeys in South America, the various primate species. And so there's those who are very shallow-minded in India. Now you can have someone who has a groomed, greased hair, nice haircut, so presentable, wearing the most expensive suit and doesn't swear, and is a vegetarian and is so well presented in their appearance, but their opinions and outlook on life is very shallow and very low mentality, where they will say all the poor people, all the Dalits in India, they've been punished for their past karma, their past deeds in a past life. They were so bad that's why they've been punished and been born into a Dalit society, because they've been punished for sins in a past life. And the reason why they're multi-billionaires is because God blessed them with a good life, because they were angels in a past life. And that's bollocks. You know, I'm not denying there are cases where some people are having difficulty because of past karma, but that's normally to do with descendants of royalty. If you have a royal lineage and things are going all topsy-turvy, the chances are you descend from royal cunts and you've been punished for the royal cunts' bad karma that you descend from. But I believe the majority of the lives in India that are born are new lives, new starts, or maybe being born again, but not being punished for past sin in the past life. That's just superstitious bollocks. And so these people will kidnap at the marketplace, kidnap the farmer's son, exploit and extort the farmers to the point where farmers commit suicide. Since 1995, 500,000 farmers in India have committed suicide. People get cheated, people get segregated. If you can't intercaste marry, if you drink water from a well, you'll be beaten to death. So the Jat supremacists were no different to white supremacists in regards to their shallow, nasty, horrible nature, run a reign of terror. But if this person comes over to India, comes over to Britain or America, people will welcome them and give them a diplomatic welcome and shake their hand, pose for pictures and say this is a very important businessman that we want to secure trade deals with. And you would think by reading it on a tabloid newspaper that this is a clean slate, this is a clean chit. Just you don't think much of it because he's dressed in a suit, he's got greased, nice hairstyle, and is well presentable and well spoken. Whereas the Sadhus, they used to be normal, regular people in normal, regular lives. They used to be soldiers, some were school teachers, some were farmers, some were office workers. But a moment came in their life where they became detached from materialistic things and never gained. They came to a point where they no longer gained satisfaction from money or materialistic things. So many gave up their homes, many gave up their families, and they answered the calling to God, where they just detach from all finances and all worldly affairs and just dedicate their life to God consciousness. And so one of the most famous sadhus, the ascetics, is Lord Shiva, Adi Guru Shiva, the first guru, the first yogi, the first guru, Lord Shiva, Mahadev. And so they model themselves on his example. So they will dress naked, they won't comb their hair, they'll become matted and get dreadlocks, and they'll cover their body with ash, and they'll smoke that holy ganja weed, and they'll get in a meditative state, and they'll just meditate on God consciousness, God's divine essence within our hearts and souls. And some even do a vow of celibacy, a brahmacharya, where they will put weights and wrap their penis around sticks so they can crush all sexual desire. Now people will find that funny. You'll be like, what do you do that for? Let's just say if you leave your children with a sadhu who's crushing sexual desire within his body, and he's a celibate, and he's twisting his penis around or putting a weight around it so it crushes any sexual urge, you can leave your children, your infants and toddlers around him and be rest assured that they're not going to get molested. Whereas you can leave your children with someone, a priest, who's wearing a nice expensive designer suit, got a nice haircut, well spoken, clean shaven, but you leave them alone with someone like that, they'll touch up your kids. So it's not really that funny. It's quite special what they do when they renounce from having all sexual activity whatsoever. Not all sadhus are celibate, some have families and have sadhu children, but that's a different discussion. So they detach from all worldly affairs and all money. So and they walk around naked, not all the time, but they dress naked and they just sit there chonging their holy ganja weed and they just meditate God. So who's more scarier? Who's more of an angel? The creepy, sinister businessman who's got the designer clothes and the nice haircut and the nice car, but has done some very shady fucking things to get money and procured people's agriculture or fish or cotton or steel, or done some very disgusting things at the marketplace based on a birthright interpretation of the hierarchy caste system. Or the sadhu who's a scruff bag tramp who you'd be embarrassed to have around if he was waiting for you after school or waiting for you after a nightclub to pick you home or just to say hello, and you don't want them around because they embarrass you because they're naked and they're covered head to toe in ash from the cremation grounds. But is that gentle soul? And some are warriors, some fight, don't get me wrong, but is that gentle renunciation, sannyasi, that soul who's detached from all money? Are they responsible for a farmer's son being secretly cremated somewhere in India because they extorted the farmer's son? Is that sadhu responsible for a farmer's daughter being raped or a farmer committing suicide? No. So that's an angel, a scruffy angel. That's what our sadhus, our devas, our walking gods look like. They dress naked, they don't wear clothes, they smoke that holy ganja, and they meditate God. Whereas the shady fuckers you need to be putting in the International Criminal Court and holding to account for some of the nasty, horrible things they've done to people at the marketplace in India, is those demon asuras who might have the nicest clean cut haircut, might have the most nicest suit, might have the nicest teeth and the clean shave, but they're really demonic energy of what they've done to people. So that's all I want to say. So don't be deceived by looks. Everyone's perception of what an angel is different. So that's all I want to say. That's Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Namah Ye Namah Om. Peace, Shanti.